Hey, Shalom Akim. Before I begin this lesson, I want to give our glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachakodash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught me this truth and who rule well. And Shalom to the hopeful elect out there, wherever you might be. All right? What you're looking at is a true depiction of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, whose name is Yahweh Shai in the ancient Paleo Hebrew. All right? And as we know on this channel, the Heavenly Father's name in the Paleo Hebrew is Yahweh. All right? And Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai created all things, the heavens and the earth. All right? And we're going to start off this lesson by going to the book of Genesis and reading the first chapter and the first verse. It says, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth, right? And if you go into the word God, it says Elohim, which means plural, right? Plural, rulers, judges, divine ones, angels, okay? And pursuant to John, the first chapter, you know, it says that the word was made flesh. We know that's Yahweh Shai, and it says all things were made by him and for him, right? So the chief angel, or the chief power, all right, under Yahweh is Yahweh Shai. So we know that Yahweh had the blueprint on how to create this universe. Yahweh had the blueprint and gave that blueprint to Yahweh Shai, and Yahweh Shai, along with the 144,000, okay, they created the elect, the 144,000, the house of David, with Yahweh Shai created this entire universe, the heaven and the earth, man. All right? But first and foremost, it's Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? So let's look at a depiction here. We got the earth and the heaven, the stars. Okay? And of course, the heaven can also mean the atmosphere of the earth, which in and of itself is amazing. All right? And, you know, what I want to go into this video about is how... you know, the fact, we're going to explore the fact that life on earth did not create itself. Or another way to put it is life did not happen by chance, which is what Esau Edom, the so-called white man, wants you to believe, okay, through his Big Bang theory and his theory of evolution. He wants you to believe that a bunch of molecules came together by chance and formed proteins, cells, and ultimately plants, animals, and eventually humans. All right, but we're going to disprove that theory, okay, by just going into a couple of videos and scriptures, and it should be plainly, obviously clear to anybody who Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is working with, okay, which that's what these videos are for. They're for the hopeful elect. All right, they're not for, you know, reprobates, people that are going to be destroyed any damn way, people who are just, you know, it's definitely not for you heathens, all right, which are you other nations, all right. It's only for the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, and so-called Native American Indians, which are the 12 tribes of the children of Israel, all right, the chosen nation, okay. We are the ones who are the sons of the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, okay, who eventually will be ruling this earth in righteousness. Because right now, all right, the management we have here on earth, hey, we need new management, man. This earth, it ain't right. All right, this wicked rulership ain't right. They're destroying the earth, destroying the minds of the people, robbing everybody left and right. They have a form of righteousness, but it's actually wickedness. All right, they act like they're you know, they act like they're, you know, they have the moral high ground, but really these people that rule, these Edomites, you know, they're the most wicked people on the planet Earth. All right. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and let's look at a couple of things here. Just bear with me. Lord willing, this lesson be edifying to the hopeful elect. Lord willing, this lesson be quick and to the point. All right. So let's go ahead and start with this video, a short video about the Goldilocks zone. Okay, so just kind of going into to get into the process of going into life on Earth, we got to also understand the sun, right, and the Earth, and how the conditions here on Earth have to be comfortable enough where life could flourish in order for life to even exist here. All right, because you got other planets out there where they may be too far from their star and they're frozen solid, or they're too close to their star and it's an inferno. Okay, so you got to have the perfect balance, which is why the scripture says a false balance is abomination. Okay, to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Let's get that. Proverbs 11:1. A false balance is abomination to Yahweh, but a just weight is his delight. Okay, and that also goes into the ways of law, right? All right, not, framing people and using technicalities on people. All right, but actually being a just judge. All right, the Lord is a just judge, man. All right, and also the Lord is balanced in every way. Okay, as far as how he created the universe, that's a great example of the Lord's balance, man. It's a balancing act to put a planet in the right place around its star so that liquid water and atmosphere, the right chemicals and minerals and elements can be in the right state in order for life to exist. Okay, notice I said to exist, not for life to be spontaneously created by itself. No, as we know, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai created all things, including life on earth, including humans, animals, and all that. All right, but I just want to go into this real quick, and I'm gonna let the video play. All right, this is for educational purposes.
Cold open. Welcome to the Goldilocks zone. A place not too hot, not too cold, but just right for life as we know it. Picture a region around a star where conditions are perfect for liquid water to exist. Yes, water, that magic ingredient for life. Now, imagine the excitement of finding exoplanets in these zones. The thrill of spotting a world orbiting another star, tucked away in the perfect position for potential life. But remember, being in the Goldilocks zone doesn't guarantee life. It's like finding a home with the right temperature, but you still need the right atmosphere, the right geological activity. And so
you see, it's not only about being in the right place around a certain star, it's also about having the right terrain, having the right gases in the air, the perfect balance of oxygen, nitrogen, okay, carbon dioxide. All right, that plants breathe carbon dioxide and animals breathe oxygen. All right, so you need both, but in the right balance. All right, too much of any of those gases is a bad thing. All right, you also need the ozone layer, protect you from UV rays and other rays. Okay, and the list goes on and on.
Search continues. Astronomers are spotting these worlds, bringing us closer to answering the age-old question, are we alone in the universe? Stay curious and keep exploring the cosmos with us. Until next time, this is your friendly voiceover signing off. Cold open. Welcome to the Goldilocks zone.
All right.
A place not too hot.
And then Salakia, bear with me.
Cold open. Welcome to the Goldilocks zone.
Yep, that was it.
A place not too hot. Not...
So yeah, man, it's got to be in the right place. Not too hot, not too cold. All right. And there was another video I saw that was like that when they showed the different zones. Let's see if I can pull up a picture real quick, just so y'all can see Goldilocks zone around different stars. Right, because the sun is a star, okay? So the sun is a medium star, they say, according to Esau's science. So right here, you got a sun-like star. It's got to be in this green area. So see, it's a little further than, say, a red star, which is smaller and cooler. So since it's the heat coming off this star is weaker than our sun, it's got to be closer. Okay, but the problem with these type of star systems is when the planets are close to their star, they become tightly locked by the gravity, meaning the same side of that planet faces that star always. So guess what? If you have a cool star with a planet around the Goldilocks zone, it still is going to be an inferno on one side and frozen on the other. So you could cross these stars out for the most part, all right? For the most part. Because there's technicalities, but again, we don't fully know, all right? Sun-like stars, they say, is a perfect one. You got to be about that far, right? Just based on the depiction, all right? Just so y'all can get the point. And with the hot stars, you got to be far as fuck because it's so goddamn hot. All right, you got to be far away. Okay. But there's a whole set of problems that come with these hot stars, so you can cross those out. So they say basically it has to be a star like the sun in size. It has to be a stable star. The planet has to be a certain distance away, yada, yada, yada. Okay. So, that's want to stop right there, and that's where I want to get some scriptures. Okay. And we're going to go to the blue letter. And I'm going to grab Psalms 8. Okay. And we're just going to go to verse 3, which is the point. It says, when I consider when I consider thy heavens, the work of thy fingers, the moon and the stars, which thou hast ordained. See, the work of Yahweh's fingers. So the Lord created the heavens, right? Space, okay? The moon, the stars, okay? And remember, the sun is a star. So the sun was created by Yahweh Bashem Shai and ordained, okay? Which we're going to go into the word ordained, okay? And the word comes out to kun, all right? And it means to be firm, to be stable, to be established, all right? We get the word established. And it means having been in existence for a long time and therefore recognized and generally accepted, okay? And then, let's see here. To be firmly established, okay? To be fixed, to be enduring, to be secure, to be stable, okay? Which the sun is considered a stable star, all right? To be arranged to settle, right? Or to be settled, okay? To accomplish, all right? So the sun was set in its perfection through Yahweh Ba'Shem El Shai, through the Lord's wisdom, all right? And then let's go back here. We're going to read verse 4. What is man that thou art mindful of him, and the son of man that thou visitest him? Right? So who are we, man? That's why we got to humble down when we come to the Lord, man. All right? We got to come with a humble and contrite spirit. We got to come and we got to learn to fear the Lord, of course. That's our wisdom, man. Psalms, that's wisdom for you people out there. All right? You Israelites, this is true wisdom, is Psalms 111 and 10. The fear of Yahweh is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. His praise endureth forever. You see? So we know Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, is a powerful power, all right? He is a great and terrible power, okay? The creator of all things, man. So what type of attitude should you have? You should be fearing of him, man. All right? That's the last person you want to piss off, man. All right? That's wisdom for us. To not piss off the Heavenly Father and his Son. To do, what is commanded of us. All right? What is commanded of you? All right, you Israelites? And you'll find that out by reading the King James Bible, the 1611 version of the King James Bible, which has all 80 of the original books. Okay, because Esau removed 14 books to try to hide history and try to hide certain facts which are very important to our people, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right? The book of 2nd Esdras tells you that the Latinos are the 10 lost tribes. All right? The book of Maccabees, both 1 and 2, tells you about, some important history for the Southern Kingdom, man. All right, so these things are very important, and that's why we got to fear the Lord and learn these things, man. All right, how you gonna follow His commandments if you don't even know what they are? So we got to read the scriptures. All right, we got to get in this word and sup with the Lord every day. All right, so now let's get back to what we were going into. We're gonna go to Psalms 104. All right, in verse 24. We're gonna start there. And it says, O Yahweh, how manifold are thy works. All right, we're going to go into the word manifold. Rabab.
Strong's H7231, Ravav, Ravav.
And that means to be or become many, be or become much, be or become great. All right, so pual, 10,000s, right? Many, many, many. All right, 10,000s, many, multiplied, increased. So the Lord's works can be looked at as many thousands of works, and probably even more than that. Okay. O Yahweh, how manifold are thy works. In wisdom hast thou made them all. Right, and the word wisdom, let's go into that. All right, what is the wisdom of Yahweh?
Strong's H2451, Chokhmah, Chokhmah.
Chokhmah, which means wisdom. All right, now let's get the definition of wisdom. The quality of having experience, knowledge, and good judgment. The quality of being wise. All right, that's why, we see that the Lord created all these amazing things. I mean, who could create life? All right, who could create a planet? Who could create a star? Who could create the fabric of space-time itself? You see, none other than Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right, skill in war. Now, of course, the Lord is a man of war, right? Exodus 15:3. Yahweh is a man of war. Yahweh is his name. That's right. It is a time for war. It is a time for peace. All right, and the Lord, he's a warrior, man. The Lord is a man of war. All right, but just to get back to the point, all right, skill, wisdom in administration, right? Because the Lord, he has servants under him. He has messengers under him, all right? You got the angels, all right? You got Yahweh Shai. You got Yahweh Shai, the angels, right? You got the left-hand angels too. Shrewdness, wisdom, prudence. Okay, oops. Salakia, my mouse is acting up. Bear with me, Yasharallah. Prudence, the quality of being prudent, cautiousness, wisdom, judgment, good judgment. Right, so basically the point is clear, all right? Through wisdom, the Lord created the universe, man. The Lord knows how to do it from scratch. Okay? And let's see. Start from the top. O Yahweh, how manifold are thy works. In wisdom hast thou made them all. The earth is full of thy riches. Right? And, of course you got gold, silver, but also the beautiful trees and plants and animals and all the different continents and the oceans, right? Which is going to go into that in verse 25. So is this great and wide sea, wherein are things creeping innumerable, both small and great beasts, right? You got so many thousands and millions of species of animals, all right? You got all types of creeping things, right? You got insects, okay? But this is more talking about the ocean. So, you got crabs, lobsters, shrimps, right? Which you should not be eating, Yasharallah. That's against the law, okay? Leviticus 11 talks about the dietary laws. So don't be eating pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, all these abominable foods. All right, those belong in the ocean because they serve a purpose. They don't belong on your plate. See, the Lord created all this ecosystem perfectly. Plants and animals to work together to clean the environment, to keep it clean, man. How could that happen by chance? You got to be out of your mind to think that that happened by chance, man. All right. So, with that being said, we're just going to look at a couple more scriptures. All right. Just going to look at a couple more here. Let's go ahead to Colossians 1 and 6. 16. Okay. It reads, "For by him were all things created that are in heaven and that are in earth." Right? All things. Life forms, rocks, mountains, minerals. Okay. The salt in the ocean. All right. Visible and invisible, whether they be thrones. Right? You got kings, you got governors, or dominions, or principalities, or powers. All things were created by him and for him. You see? Everything, man. All things. All things. That's self-explanatory right there. All right? Let's go to John 1 and 3. All right, which I believe I was making a quick mention of this earlier. It says, all things were made by him. And actually, before we go into that, we'll prove what I was saying earlier about Yahushai being the one who did the actual creating, but the Heavenly Father made the blueprint and commanded Yahushai. He had Yahushai do it. But just to show you that Yahushai did it, John 1 and 1, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with the Most High, and the Word, or Salakia, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, which means powers, right, which we were going into, and the Word was a power. So you had the angels, all right, Yahushai was with them, and Yahushai was one of them, okay, because Yahushai is technically an angel, all right. The same was in the beginning with the Most High. Okay, so Yahushai was with Yahweh in the beginning because Yahushai was the first spirit created. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. Again, everything created by the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right, and now we're going to go into, I want to go into another video real quick. And, just to prove, so now we can really get into it and prove, that, this whole theory about the evolution theory and how, molecules form by chance and then eventually cells which evolved into plants and then animals and funguses and humans and monkeys and all this nonsense is just, it's not only is laughable, but if you have a logical, sound mind, it's impossible. It's not possible. So if you use Esau's own science, you can prove him wrong, man. It's not hard. All right? The scriptures call him the basest of men. All right? This is why they say they came from monkeys, man, because they literally act like fucking monkeys, man. All right? So let's go ahead and look and see. I got a few things to go over. Just bear with me, Yasharala. Okay, let's go ahead and look at these pictures real quick. I want to show y'all something. So this is a depiction of proteins. So here you have a peripheral protein right here in the purple, and in the blue you got you have integral proteins right here, and then the green you have glycoprotein, right? So these are the proteins, different proteins that make up a cell, okay? A cell is a fundamental building block that makes up your bodies, your organs, okay? All that stuff. So every, like skin, bones, joints, teeth, hair, eyes, kidneys, liver, spleen, blood. Everything in your body is made up of these little cells, which can be likened unto a machine. Okay, you can think about some of the earliest inventions here in Esau's kingdom, the steam engine, okay, and some of the more modern ones, a computer. Okay, and I picked this picture on purpose to ask you a question, man. As complex as a computer is, do you think that that computer could form by chance? Like, are you going to walk into the woods and you're going to see this and be like, oh yeah, this just happened by chance. The keyboard, the monitor, everything just fell in place by itself. After millions of years, this computer just came into existence by chance. Just a bunch of random chemicals and minerals came together and you get a fully functioning computer. That's madness, right? Well, what's even more crazy than that is to say that a single, not even a cell, a single protein was made by chance. And that's the video we're about to get into. All right, but before we go right into that, I want to show you one more picture. This is the levels of organization. So remember, proteins make up one cell, right? Millions of cells make up tissue. All right, the tissues make up your organs. The organs make up an organ system in which you are made of, the organism. Okay? So now that we have established this knowledge, let's go ahead and watch a video that if you watch it and sit through it, this is for educational purposes, it will blow your mind. All right? So I'm just going to let it play.
When applied to the origin of life and the random formation of large biomolecules, probability theory clarifies the limitations of chance as a creative agent on the primordial Earth. For example, what are the odds a single protein could form exclusively through the blind interactions of chemistry? Our target is one smaller than average molecule made from 150 amino acids, each aligned to ensure a folded chain. Researchers have calculated that on the ancient Earth, the probability of success was 1 chance in 10 to the 164th power.
So you see that right there? The chances of a single protein, not to even mention a cell, let alone a cell, just a piece of a cell, a protein. The chances of that forming in the ancient Earth, or what they call the ancient Earth, is 10 to the 164th power. So that's 10 times 10 times 10 times 10, 164 times. And that's a number that's too big to write down on this screen, okay? So just keep that in mind.
That's one correctly sequenced protein chain for every 100 million trillion 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 failed attempts. But despite these enormous odds, some theorists argue that given enough time, anything is possible. Okay, let's test the validity of this opinion.
So they say anything is possible with enough time. That's what their argument is. But as you're going to see in this video, which we're going to continue, I don't want to interrupt it too much, but I have to stop and make this point. All right? Remember who you're dealing with when they give you these crazy arguments. All right? So we're going to go to, bear with me. We're going to go to John 8:44. Ye are of your father the devil. We know the devil is the adversary. Who is the adversary of the Israelites and of the Lord? Pursuant to Psalms, the 83rd chapter, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. All right? and the lusts of your father ye will do, right? So Yahweh Shai was speaking to certain Israelites who were the Pharisees, the wicked scribes and Pharisees who were, liars and deceivers just like Esau. So they were coming in the spirit of Esau, being wicked, all right? And Yahweh Shai was rebuking them, saying they're of their father the devil, right? So, and in the lust of your flesh, or the lust of your father you will do. He was a murderer from the beginning. Remember, Cain killed righteous Abel, okay? And then Cain came back through the reincarnation as Esau, right? And abode not in the truth. What is the truth? The scriptures say the law is the truth, all right? So these scriptures, right? Esau does not abide in these scriptures. Slakia, my mouse is messed up. And abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. Right. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. He's the father of lies, man. So Esau will look at you with a straight face and tell you this thing that will be, it will take 10 to the 164th tries to get right. It did happen because there's just a lot of time. That's what Esau said. He's a goddamn liar. And this video is going to prove that.
Begin by establishing an ideal environment for chemical evolution. An imaginary world that will provide chance with every opportunity to succeed. First, we stock the oceans to capacity with amino acids. That means all the atoms on Earth, including its entire supply of carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, and sulfur, are available to form 10 to the 41st complete sets of the 20 types of amino acids used to build proteins. Then we'll alter the laws of nature to protect these building blocks from the destructive rays of ultraviolet light and chemical contamination in the primordial soup. Now let's turn the chemistry loose and see what happens. The amino acids start bonding furiously. In our experiment, an entire chain of 150 units self-assembles in only 1 second. Since all 20 types of amino acids are available, at the majority of sites, there is a 5% or 1 in 20 chance the correct molecule will align in the chain. If the sequencing is incorrect, the chain is immediately destroyed and a new assembly begins. Throughout the planet, 6,000 million, billion, trillion attempts will take place every minute. That means in 4.6 billion years, the oldest estimated age of the Earth, the number of chains that don't fold.
And the Earth is not that old, but we're going to go along with it just to, chew the meat, spit out the bone. So, in this hypothetical example, we're giving so-called chance or so-called evolution, we're giving it a chance, a much longer amount of time than has even been. And watch, it still won't be able to work.
Will exceed 10 to the 58th power. It's a staggering total, but nowhere near 10 to the 164th. The trials necessary, on average, to build a protein of 150 amino acids by chance. So if undirected chemistry can't produce our coveted molecule during the entire history of the Earth, then how much time would have been needed? To find out, let's take a road trip. We'll start by erecting a bridge that spans the diameter of the observable universe, a distance of more than 90 billion light years.
All right, so the universe, the observable universe, right, according to Esau, is 90 billion light years, okay? How much is 1 light year? There's 5.88 trillion miles in 1 light year. So you're going to take 5.88 trillion times 90 billion. All right, and that number's too big to even use a calculator for, which I have my calculator here ready in case we got to do a little bit of math in this example, but, it's not going to show up. All right, and I could actually do it right now just to show you. All right, 5.8 trillion, we'll just say 5.8. We'll see how many zeros is that. That's 58,000, 58 million. There's 58 trillion. So I put too many zeros. But basically, you get the point, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's million, billion. I don't even think that's trillion yet, but it don't matter. We multiply that by 90. 1, 2, 3, 3, 3. I think that's billion. And see how you get these 5.22 E23? Because it's too big to fit on the calculator, man. But y'all get the point, man. I don't have to be so precise to show you that. The point is that this is hard to wrap your head around some of these numbers. And Esau wants you to believe, which the video hasn't gone into it yet, but, I just wanted to show you that. 5.88 trillion miles times 90 billion is the length from one end of the universe to the other, so-called. All right, and why are they showing us that? Because this crazy example they're going to give of how much time it would take for one simple protein to form by chance. Watch.
Then we'll place an amoeba on one end of the bridge. This single-cell organism will travel at the breakneck speed of 1 foot per year. It's off. While we wait for one protein to form by chance, the amoeba slides along for more than 5 billion years to cross the entire universe and then return. But this race is just getting started. The amoeba takes off again, successfully reaches the far side of the cosmos, then heads back home. Yet not even one functional protein is anywhere in sight. For the next trip, we'll add a payload, a single atom.
So now, a single atom. Do y'all know how small an atom is? All right, and first I want to say this. Atoms make up all the matter in the universe. So your table that you're watching this on, your computer, your chair you're sitting on, your body, the water you're drinking, the food you're eating, the air you're breathing, okay? All of that is made of atoms, okay? So how much, let's get an example just so y'all can see. How many atoms are in one drop of water? All right, it says there are 1.67 sextillion water molecules in a water drop. Okay, so those of you that know about numbers, all right, a million has 6 zeros, a billion has 9, a trillion has 12. Okay, and then you keep going up from a trillion to a quadrillion to a quintillion to a sextillion. It's a very large number. 1.67 sextillion water molecules in a water drop, and that's just molecules. One water molecule is 3 atoms. So you're going to take 1.67 sextillion. So I got my calculator. 1.67 times 3. 5.01 sextillion atoms in a water drop. Okay, just keep that in mind. That's how many atoms are in a water drop. Now watch the rest of this example and be amazed at how fucking impossible this thing that Esau wants us to believe actually is. And the point of this is this was all done by intelligent design, man. The universe, the earth, the heavens, your human body, all right? Your cells, your proteins, your organs, your mind, everything was done by intelligent design of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, not by chance. All right, let's continue.
After inching its way another 500 billion trillion miles, the amoeba drops off its cargo and returns for more. Will it get back before our lucky protein forms? Absolutely. In fact, it will complete another 10 round trips, then 20, 100, 1,000. And there's still no sign of a usable molecule. The amoeba continues making round trips until it has hauled off every atom on Earth.
You hear that? That little amoeba is going to go across the entire universe with every atom that exists in the entire Earth. We already saw 1.67 sextillion atoms in a water droplet. How many atoms do you think are in the entire Earth?
Then, all of the atoms in our solar system. Then, every planet and star in the Milky Way galaxy, one atom at a time. In fact, as we wait for one protein to self-assemble, the amoeba has so much time that moving at just 1 foot a year and carrying one atom per round trip, it will transport the entire universe more than 56 million times.
Bruh. You hear this shit? The whole entire universe will get transferred back and forth something 50 million whatever times, man. All right? That simple protein that Esau said formed by itself, nah, it never did. There's not enough time for that to ever happen, man. All right? And that's just a protein. Remember, it takes I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of protein to make a simple cell. And then from that simple cell has to have a membrane. And then that simple cell is just a simple cell. Now the cell has to turn into plants, animals, fish, and humans. You see how crazy and madness this shit is? But people would rather believe Esau than believe that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai created all things, man. Obviously, this is intelligent design by somebody who has so much more wisdom than we could ever. All right, going back to the example. Okay, and Salaki for interrupting, but this is important to know. Okay, it's important to point out the obvious again. Okay, all right, you wouldn't believe that this fucking steam engine or this computer can be found in the middle of a pond or in the middle of the desert or in the middle of a forest by chance. You obviously can see this and say, okay, somebody intelligent designed this. Years of testing and blueprints and trial and error, and eventually, hundreds of people coming together to create this incredible technology. Okay. Now let's look at something. Let's look at let's go to Google. Let's see. A single cell is more complex than a computer. Here's an AI overview. It says, yes, according to current scientific understanding, a single cell is considered more complex than a computer. Okay, a single cell. How many proteins are in a cell? Hundreds of thousands, right? Due to the intricate network of chemical reactions, self-regulating mechanisms, right? They got thermostats in there. Yeah, your cells have little thermostats and little gears and all that shit, man. It's like a computer. It's like a computer slash, gears, pulleys, whistles, bells and whistles. It's like a whole factory, man. is genius. All right? Call hello Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, man. We are fearfully and wonderfully made, man. All right? Due to the intricate network of chemical reactions, self-regulating mechanisms, and adaptability that occur within a cell, which far surpasses the computational capabilities of even the most advanced computers today. So as you can see, this pales in comparison to even a single cell in your body. And Esau wants you to think that this all happened by chance. Your incredible body and mind all happened by chance. And there's nothing spiritual about it, according to Esau. You see? How many cells are in your body? 30 trillion, man. So you're telling me 30 trillion computers can just pop up in the middle of the desert, and even then, our cells are more complex than that. You see, this is intelligent design. I'm obviously somebody of a higher dimension, higher power. Yahweh had to have the blueprint for this, to have Yahweh Shai set it up. All right, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, man. All right, who is just, as the heavens are higher than the earth, right? Let's get that scripture. Isaiah 55:9. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. All right, can any of you people even come up with a computer by yourself? All right, now put 100 trillion of them together into a being that can walk and invent things, man. All right? And this is the same proud man, Esau Edom, the one who wants us to believe this bullshit. He's the same one that thinks he's going to fight Yahweh Shai, pursuing the 2nd Esdras 13. All right? And it's also written in the book of Revelation. All right? He thinks he's going to fight the Lord when he returns. And that's why he's setting it up for people to believe that right now, saying that, oh, you know, there's UFOs in the sky. Those are aliens. There's going to be an alien invasion soon. We got to all get together. All right? That's why you have that, you've had different famous presidents. You had a president come out with that, saying how, if an alien invasion happened, how all nations will come together. Right? That's why they want the New World Order. You look on the back of the dollar bill, Novus Ordo Seclorum, which means New World Order. Okay, that's part of the reason they want it. They think they can fight Yahweh Shai when he returns. All right? But just like his crazy theory falls flat, so is he going to fall flat when Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai returns, man, and destroys his kingdom without effort, man. The Lord's going to put Esau down without effort, man. All right? That's how powerful the Lord is. He creates his own enemies, man. All right? Y'all don't know who the fuck you're dealing with, you Edomites out there. You are fucked. You are fucked, man. But anyway, let's get back into it. Okay, so yeah, you wouldn't expect something so complex to form out of nowhere, right? Which is what we were going into. And let's go ahead and keep playing the video here.
That's how long it would take for chance to build one functional protein.
Now, suppose against all odds, chemical evolution produced our single functional protein. Would we have life? No. We'd have one protein, just a lifeless arrangement of amino acids.
Boom. So even if that crazy situation could somehow occur, Esau, and you wicked Israelites that don't want to repent, all right, it's still impossible, man. Because, now you got a protein, but guess what? It takes thousands of them organized in an intelligent manner to create the factory that is the cell. If you can remember back in biology class, they say the powerhouse of the cell, right? You got mitochondria, you got all these different parts of a cell. So the protein is just like a gear or a nut or a bolt. All right, so to create a piece of the factory is impossible. So how much harder to create the factory itself, the cell?
The simplest living cell we know has more than 300 different proteins. But proteins are only part of the story when you consider any actual cell. Remember, you're going to have carbohydrates, complex sugars, nucleic acids, DNA and RNA, lipids, a whole variety of different chemicals which jointly constitute the living state. Those bits and pieces all have to be brought into the same microenvironment at the same moment in time.
Each chemical building block must then be assembled and organized into the network of molecular machines that will control every facet of life.
If we can appreciate exactly how hard it is to produce one molecular machine using nothing except atoms and energy, we can see that there's a profound problem, because once you have one molecular machine, you don't have a living thing.
You see, so even if you produced a cell, or even if the cell formed by chance, which we already know is impossible, okay, you still don't have life, man. And he's gonna go into it further, all right? But hey, man, this video is blowing my mind, and I saw this a while ago, but just watching it again reminds me of how powerful and how intelligent and wise and how much knowledge Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai has, man. All right, our power is something else, man. We can't even put our imagination to how great Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai are, man. You know, call Allah Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai for creating us, man. This is a beautiful thing, man. All right, we just using this little understanding that we have of science, you could see how amazing the majesty of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is. All right.
These molecular machines need other molecular machines. And even if nature was capable of producing all the molecular machines necessary, that still wouldn't be enough. They have to all be together, all in this tiny little membrane-bound space that we call a cell.
From my understanding of what it takes to make a cell, it has to happen all at once. You can't do it one bit at a time, because everything works together in a causal loop. The higher level of organization transcends the pieces. The spatial organization in the cell requires that molecules end up in the right place at the right time. The DNA is copied into RNA. The polymerase that does the copying has to find the right spot in the DNA to start copying. The RNA has to somehow hook up with ribosomes, which have to be in a particular place. And the proteins then that are made have to be going to a particular place. That's an awful lot to account for by random chance.
The probability that you would get them in the same space at the same time becomes beyond unimaginable. And the probability that you would get them within a membrane enclosure, like a cell, is the next best thing to impossible.
You see? The next best thing to impossible, man. We already went over all those numbers. My head hurts from looking at all those numbers, man. You know, but in all seriousness, man, I mean, there you have it, man. I mean, the universe was created intelligently by Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, man, which the scriptures tell us. All right, so let's go into some of those and I'll close out, Lord wills. All right, let's go to Psalms, or actually, we'll go to Genesis 2. We'll start there. All right, Genesis 2. And let's see here. Verse 7. And it reads, And Yahweh, power, formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. You see? So Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai formed man out of the dust of the ground, right? So just like in that video, all right, you got these different compounds and elements and chemicals that have to come together, all right? So the Lord formed us, all right, intelligently, all right? It didn't happen it didn't say that the ground the dust of the ground came together and formed man. No, it says Yahweh power formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. All right? And just to kind of show you again the levels of organization, all right, you got a cell which is made up of proteins, all right, and a membrane, and then that makes up your tissue of your organs, which make up your organ system, which make up the organism, all right, whether it be a man or a beast or a plant or a fungus, a bacteria, okay? And now, let's go ahead and go to Psalms 139. Verse 13, and it reads, "For thou hast possessed my reins, thou hast covered me in my mother's womb." All right, and this is a great one to get in the New International Version. Okay, let's get this in the New International Version. Verse 13 here. It says, "For you created my inmost being, you knit me together in my mother's womb." Okay, like they were showing in that video, all those cells and molecules and proteins have to be intricately woven together in just the right place at the right time for life to happen, man. So Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, you know, he's the one that did it, man. Intelligent design, man. All right. And then now let's go back to the King James. All right. Let's see, verse 13. "For thou hast possessed my reins," right? So kidneys, the emotional, where the emotions come from. "Thou hast covered me in my mother's womb." Okay, going into how the Lord put us together. Verse 14, "I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made." Right? So the Lord made us fearfully and wonderfully, man. Because this is not an easy task to create life. As we saw, it won't happen by chance. And nobody on earth, scientists or whoever, they don't know how to make life from scratch. It's never been done. It's only been theorized by Esau's false science. All right? Or his false understanding of science, rather. "Marvelous are thy works." So let's get the word marvelous here. Okay. Paula.
Strong's H 6381. Pala. Pala.
To be marvelous. And of course, we'll get the basic definition here, which means causing great wonder, extraordinary. An example is marvelous technological toys. Hey, that's spiritual, man. That's exactly what we're talking about, man. The human body is a marvelous technology, man. To be wonderful, to be surpassing, to be extraordinary, right? So, you know, with all of Esau's understanding and stealing inventions from Jake and putting everything together, this is the best Esau's got to offer, man. It pales into comparison of what Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai created, man. It pales in comparison to what Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai has created, which is all things. All right, even Esau himself, to be the damn devil that he is, you see? Everything works together, all right, for the Lord's ultimate purpose, man. This is the Lord's movie, all right? And I hope this video, along with showing you who the true creator is showing you also that you need to fear the Lord, man. This is a perfect reason to fear the Lord, man. All right. Let's go back here. To be wonderful, be surpassing, extraordinary, separate by distinguishing action, to be beyond one's power, to be difficult to do. Right. to be difficult to understand, right? As the heavens are higher than the earth, so the ways of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai higher than our ways, to be wonderful, to be extraordinary. To show oneself wonderful or marvelous. See? All right, so let's go back. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. All right, we know these things, man. It's a beautiful thing, all right? Now, let's go to Luke chapter 12 and verse 7. And it reads, but even the very hairs of your head are all numbered. So how many of you read this scripture before and thought, oh, well, that's a little far-fetched, all right? Not that you should be thinking like that, but there's people in the world that might be thinking that way, or, maybe you just thought, well, that's kind of extreme, ain't it? But hey, look what the Lord did, even greater things, man. Now you can see how these proteins and different cells and organs are made, right? Of course the Lord has our hairs numbered, man. But even the very hairs of your head are all numbered. Fear not, therefore, ye are of more value than many sparrows, right? Going into how you need to have faith in the Lord, to take care of you, all right? Which, if you're doing in this truth sincerely, man, we ain't got nothing to worry about. Just got to stay in this faith, stay in the truth. Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai's got our backs, all right? With the hell that's getting ready to happen in Jacob's trouble, which is coming very soon, when all hell breaks loose and this society starts to collapse, and really is collapsing already, but when it really collapses, man, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai's got us. All right, trust and believe. All right, so now let's go ahead and go to the Apocrypha. Let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 17, all right, and verse 1. And it reads, the Lord Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai created man of the earth and turned him into it again. All right, to dust you come, to dust you will return. Okay, now let's go down to verse 5. It reads, they received the use of the 5 operations of the Lord. And in the 6th place, all right, so the 5 operations of the Lord are the 5 senses. You got sight, you got touch, you got hear, like hearing, you got smell, and you got taste. All right, the 5 operations of the Lord. And in the 6th place, he imparted them understanding. You see, understanding. And in the 7th, speech. Okay, so you got your mind, your ability to, your cognitive abilities, and then your ability to speak and, express your opinions and thoughts to others, right? Which is why it says an interpreter of the cogitations thereof, right? So speech is an interpreter of understanding. All right, what is your understanding? Okay, so the Lord, not only did he create all these things that work together and build up, but then the entire organism itself is extremely complex and amazing and phenomenal. And this is just the flesh. Imagine the spirit, which is on a whole nother level that we can't even understand, man. So, hey, man, this is just amazing. All right, and that's so the Lord is amazing, man. Let's go back to Psalms 104 and 24 real quick. I wanted to get a quick point, and then we'll close out. And verse, let's see here. 104 and 24. O Yahweh, how manifold are thy works, in wisdom hast thou made them all. The earth is full of thy riches, right? In wisdom the Lord made all things. Okay, let's get the word wisdom again. And I want to go a little deeper this time, and we'll close out. Wisdom. The quality of having experience, knowledge, and good judgment. The quality of being wise. skill. All right, and now let's get the word skill in the etymology. Skill, knowledge, divine wisdom, power of discernment, right? So the Lord was able to see, okay, this is what's going to work in order to make this work here. So because the Lord is so intelligent, the ability to judge well, sound judgment, that which is reasonable, right? And Esau, even the so-called white man, is very unreasonable, right? So you Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians need to come back to the ways of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai and stop worshiping this devil, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. He will not save you in the day of wrath, all right? Which is soon to come. So with that, I pray that this lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect out there, man, all right? Once Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai establishes his kingdom on earth, all right, through that same wisdom that he created all things, he's going to create the perfect government, all right, ruled by the Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians. A beautiful, perfect world, man, with harmony, organic food, women being in order, men being in order too, all right? We're not going to be out here robbing people on the street. We're going to be all perfect. All of us will be, the laws will be written in our inward parts, man, all right? You know, no chemtrails in the air, no poisoning the people's food, no corruption. This stupid ass money system is going to be done away with. All right, we're going to be at peace. All right, just like the scriptures say, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is a man of war. It also says he's a prince of peace. All right, because there's a time for war and there's a time for peace. All right, we know that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is a perfect balance of all things, man. So yeah, man, the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is a perfect balance. All right. With that, I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Achakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. And shalom, salutations to the hopeful elect scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. May you endure until the end. Until next time, shalom.